So after taking 4 days from making content, this is what I come back to. Nintendo is bringing back the Virtual Boy. Come on, Nintendo, outside with that, man. And you guys saw the price? $24 or $25 for the cardboard version and $99 for the actual Virtual Boy, peripheral. Nintendo, come on, Nintendo. Yes, and although there were a very small number of Nintendo fans who were happy with that direct, some giving it an 8 out of 10, there were a lot of Nintendo fans giving it a 5, giving it a 2, giving it a D, giving it a C. I mean, there's so many fans who were disappointed by this Nintendo Direct because they were looking for bigger games, they were looking for new experiences. Yes, there are a lot of fans who they are looking to see what Nintendo is giving them for the investment they made. So this is why a lot of fans were disappointed. But there was one take by a very popular YouTuber that has everyone scratching their head, and that YouTuber is Beatm or Wood from the Beatm YouTube channel. And guess what he said?
Look at PlayStation, look at Xbox, for Christ's sake. There's nothing for Xbox at all.
Y'all smoking crack! Something is wrong with you people! What the hell has this world come to?
Now, I don't want to question Wood's sobriety here, but he has to be capping, right? Wood, you know how many games Xbox released in 2025? I mean, we had Avowed, South of Midnight, Oblivion, Doom the Dark Ages, Tony Hawk, Grounded 2, Gears, Keeper is coming, Outer World is coming, Black Ops is coming, Black Ops 7. I mean, look at how many games.
PlayStation's doing nothing. They release one game every quarter.
Yeah. He's out of line, but he's right.
And we have like 5 games coming from Nintendo themselves before the end of the year. Yeah. Then Zelda and Pokemon and Tamagotchi Life.
Huh?
And everything coming at the start of next year. There's so much. And it's like, yes, we all want F-Zero. We all want Star Fox. We all want Animal Crossing. Give it a rest. Nintendo, they just launched this console 3 months ago, and they've already given us a brand new Mario Kart, a brand new Donkey Kong, and almost every single main IP they have has a game that's almost ready to come out, other than a couple. They showed Fire Emblem today, a brand new Fire Emblem, which like people love Fire Emblem, and people are still like, oh, well, I didn't get a new chibi Robo game. These things will happen. Animal Crossing will happen. F-Zero might. I don't know if F-Zero will happen because I don't know if Nintendo cares. We have 8 more years of this console. Don't rush. Take it slow. Life is precious.
So I'll tell you why some Nintendo fans are kicking back at that Nintendo Direct. You see, since the Nintendo Switch 2 has been released, Nintendo has lost a lot of goodwill from the gamers. Remember, Nintendo was the first company to raise their games to $80. In addition to that, they have done some really scummy moves, like not, making the Type-C port on the Nintendo Switch 2 compatible with other Type-C ports, meaning that you can't use the dock, you can't use other chargers with the Nintendo Switch. And that's just scratching the surface. There's the game keycard situation. There's a lot of goodwill that Nintendo would have, basically shoot themselves in the leg when it comes to the Switch 2 launch and the Switch 2 games. Now, some fans are saying here what they want to see what they bought this console for, and it's to be expected. But what do you think? Do you think Nintendo is all right with the games that they showed at the Nintendo Direct? Are you looking forward to some of these games? Let me know in the comment sections below. Next up, although the PlayStation community said that Final Fantasy XVI did not sell on the Xbox, well, Square Enix are telling these ponies,
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Yeah, Square Enix has to leave with some sort of money because they didn't make enough on PlayStation. And yes, although PlayStation fans are saying that Xbox consoles aren't selling and no one wants to put their games onto Xbox, Square Enix is saying this. Got a friend who still hasn't played Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate? Send them a reminder January 22nd, 2026 on Switch 2 and Xbox Series X and S. Yes, Square Enix is putting more of their games on an Xbox platform. Although the pony said Xbox is dead, Xbox have no players, Xbox have no games, but guess what? Square Enix is putting their games, more of their games on an Xbox platform. Great news for Final Fantasy fans. Great news for those who are on the platform Xbox. So what's the topic for today? Well, there are PlayStation fans all over Twitter rejoicing. They are saying that Sony is going back to selling consoles. They will no longer be putting games, or their focus will not be putting games on to other third-party systems. So let's examine what they are saying. So sit back and relax and let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. So guys, we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, and no doubt your sub to this channel would assist in that goal. Of course, we are not just telling you to subscribe for subscribing sake. You are getting some of the best Xbox content, some Nintendo content sprinkled in there, and we discipline the Sony fans, the ponies as we like to call them here. So if this type of content interests you, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. Now let's get back to the video. For a number of years, Microsoft and PC have been playing well together. Yes, they have been very close for a very long time. The only person who was missing out on that action was PlayStation.
Yeah, cuz she moving on, cuz. She moving on, cuz. That shit hurt, cuz. Look, they happy over there and everything, cuz. Damn, man. Look how they smiling, cuz. They smiling, showing all their teeth, cuz. Man, they happy, cuz. You can't mess up that happy family, cuz. Yeah, I know it, cuz. It's alright, cuz. Stay strong, cuz. Stay strong, cuz. Don't worry about it, cuz. You gotta move on, man. We gotta move on, cuz. We gotta move on, cuz. I know that shit hurt, cuz.
You have to move on, cuz. You have to move on, cuz. Well, it just so happened that Sony would have taken a page from Microsoft's book, and they started to play well with PC, to the point where some of their first party games, the timeline to coming to PC started to shrink, started to get smaller and smaller. So I believe it have some games that would have released day and date on the PC, like Helldivers 2, and other games like Spider-Man and so forth did not even stay a year exclusive on to PlayStation. So yes, eventually PlayStation started to play well with the PC. Well, it did have some PlayStation fans who did not like that approach, so much so that they had to say this to PlayStation.
I'm telling you, don't die in this hill. The door's open for any decision for PlayStation to make. Do not write off day and day PC. There's no reason for you to write it off. What I recommend is just see and wait, see how things go, and if Sony makes a decision, evaluate that decision, and then you judge for yourself how you want to game, what device you want to game on, and what's best for you. That's it. That's all you can do. But I will not die in this hell in damage control and make definitive statements. Don't make definitive statements like you know this guy. You don't know this guy. And you see the terms he used. I already warned you. When a man shows you who he is, believe him.
Yes, there has been many PlayStation players who don't like the direction that Sony was going, bringing their games very early to PC and putting their games on Xbox and other platforms. So Recently, we had a financial update by Sony, and apparently, Sony is no longer checking the sales that come from third party. Yes, they would have put out basically a statement saying that their focus is console gaming, then I think is MAUs, and then I believe is peripherals or something like that. But you know what? Let's listen to this bias article here by Push Square as they try to tell us what Sony is doing next, and then we'll listen to these ponies to see how they are reacting to it. Let's listen.
Sony removes multi-format revenue from strategic indicators. It's not a focus. By Sammy Barker. Much has been made of PlayStation and its dalliance with multi-format releases. In a world where Microsoft has started releasing its entire portfolio to PS5.
Push Square, stop lying. What you're seeing on your screen is a list of some of the games that are not coming to PlayStation. So stop misleading your audience by saying every game from Xbox is coming to PlayStation. You liars.
Many suspect Sony to be following the same path, especially after unexpectedly porting games like Helldivers 2 to Xbox Series X, S, and LEGO Horizon Adventures to the Nintendo Switch. But interestingly, in its latest corporate report, the firm has removed game revenue beyond console from its list of strategically emphasized indicators. While this featured prominently in 2024's version of the same document, the platform holder now cites the following as key measures: PS5 hardware units sold globally, PlayStation monthly active users, total gameplay hours. This aligns with comments the company has made in the past, where it talked about a greater focus on engagement, but it clearly understands that hardware sales are its primary path to monthly active users. There's no real reference in the document to explain why Sony has removed game revenue beyond console as a strategically emphasized indicator, but it's absolutely worth noting that in fiscal year 24, multi-format releases accounted for just 2% of PlayStation's overall revenue. That figure included all of the company's PC ports. Although depending on how successful Helldivers 2 proves on Xbox Series XS, it could see an increased share in the current fiscal year. Nevertheless, with Sony seemingly focused on its own hardware and ecosystem, it perhaps illustrates why multi-format releases are a footnote for it. Expect it to continue to belatedly port its titles to the PC and explore other consoles where appropriate. But it's clear from this report that its focus is on its own platform for the foreseeable future.
Yes, some ponies believe because of this report, Sony is no longer going to put games onto Xbox or any other platform. They are going back to only going to focus on putting games on their platform. Listen to this pony here as he reiterates the same point.
Here's the new key measures or the new indicators. PlayStation 5 hardware units sold globally. So they're focusing on the hardware, which is good, because at the end of the day, the core audience, that's where the core PlayStation audience, that is where we're at. We're at the PlayStation 5 or even PlayStation 4 hardware. To not have that in your focus as far as you want to continue to push that, to me, that's a big detriment on the platform itself. You know, putting these games on these other platforms is not going to increase PlayStation hardware sales going forward, in my opinion.
So according to this pony, PlayStation is now switching back to PlayStation hardware units sold globally, after themselves would have said just about a month ago that PlayStation says that they are moving away from a hardware-centric model. So what is it that Sony is doing? Is it that they are sticking with focusing on hardware sales, or is it that they are moving away from it? So right away, we see a mixed messaging here from Sony, to the point where ponies believe that hardware centric is the best bet for Sony. Now, there's one problem with that, ponies. The evidence don't lie and the stats and statistics don't lie. According to the stats and statistics, PlayStation 5 hardware sales have been decreasing year over year, with a significant decline of 11% in the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2025, as the console enters the later stages of its life cycle, while overall revenue of Sony gaming division has been supported by strong software and network service sales. PlayStation 5 hardware sales are on the decline as the market matures. So it goes on to show how the PlayStation console itself hardware is decreasing. Why would Sony focus on hardware sales when they know every year they are selling less and less PlayStation 5? So in order to increase revenue, in order to continue to bring in money, the best bet is to bring their games onto other platforms. So why would Sony say that last month, but then change their mind given this evidence this month? And these ponies believe that Sony is going back to the old model where their focus is on hardware. I mean, men lie, women lie, but that number we just saw there didn't lie. Not only that, but when it is you couple with what Helldivers 2 did on Xbox, selling more units than PlayStation did in the first 6 days, are these ponies trying to convince me that Sony won't put more games onto Xbox? You guys are crazy if you believe that Sony won't bring more of their PlayStation games onto Xbox. These numbers are crazy. You're telling me Helldivers sold more on Xbox than it did on PlayStation in the first 6 days? That is madness. So in the near future, expect more and more PlayStation games coming to Xbox. Mark my words. So let me hear what you thought about what the Nintendo YouTuber said about Xbox having no games, and let me hear what you thought about the PlayStation fans believe that PlayStation won't bring any more games onto Xbox. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.